So even after yesterday's video, the situation hasn't died down. More headlines, more speculation, more demands for statements. That's when I realized this isn't just about one rumor. This is tied to something I've been reflecting on for years. The culture of K-pop itself, the way that privacy, fandom, and media intersect in often toxic ways. And because I see, one of my multiple roles as a kind of bridge between Korean fans and international fans, I felt it was worth unpacking once more. Okay, even if many international armies don't follow K-pop outside of BTS, I feel like this moment reveals, deeper cultural patterns that existed long before HYBE or even BTS themselves. So in this video, I want to look at four things. First, the media and some fans calling for an official statement or legal action. And second, how the actress Song Da-eun's supposed fandom statement ended up in the Korean news cycle. And third, the history of conflict between the actress and parts of Jimin's fandom. And finally, the legal angle, what this could mean in terms of privacy and consent. Okay, so this is a follow-up video to this one. So if you have no idea what I've been just talked about for the last minute, go check it out. But I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go. So one of the biggest differences I noticed between yesterday and today is how the media has shifted the spotlight. It's no longer just about the leaked video itself. Now the headlines are zeroing in on the silence, like Jimin's silence and Big Hit / HYBE silence. And several outlets published pieces with almost the same angle. Like Song Da-eun posted a video that clearly shows Jimin's face, yet Big Hit has not released a statement, something like that. Or some articles framed it as, is this the final proof of their relationship? Or others asked outright, is HYBE's silence still the right strategy? So this one is titled, Did You Know I Was Coming? Song Da-eun and Jimin's Continued Silence, written by Star Today journalist, reporter Ji Seung-hoon. Actress Song Da-eun shared a dating video, but BTS member Jimin and his agency have remained silent. Because Jimin's face appeared so clearly, many expected the rumors to be effectively confirmed. However, Big Hit Music once again chose not to issue any statement, letting the situation pass without comment. All BTS members completed their military service in June, and in July, they reportedly flew to the US to work on a full group album for the first time in about 3 years. Excitement is high for their comeback. Still, dating news about an idol who thrives on fan love is rarely welcomed. That's why both Jimin and Big Hit Music find themselves in a difficult spot, said the journalist Ji Seung-hoon of Star Today. Now, what about this one? Song Da-eun makes it official, but silence in return. Written by reporter Myung Hee-suk of X-Sports News. They said something like, actress Song Da-eun openly revealed her relationship with BTS Jimin, yet his agency continues to stay quiet. On August 22nd, Song Da-eun posted a video on her TikTok showing moments with Jimin, effectively announcing their relationship. Okay. The footage showed her waiting for him by an elevator, Jimin's full face clearly visible, and the affectionate tone between them, no different from any couple, strongly suggested they were dating. Now, by the way, the reason why I'm reading these articles for you, like translating, is to show you how the Korean media is trying to portray this, Song Da-eun's side said it was hard to confirm, while Big Hit Music refrained from any statement. Even 2 days after the rumors ignited, Jimin's agency has not released an official response. This is not the first time dating rumors have surfaced. Back in 2022, similar speculation spread, fueled by Song Da-eun's social media posts that seemed to reference Jimin. She has repeatedly faced waves of malicious comments from fans, said the journalist. In May, she even highlighted a comment insulting her as beneath Jimin's level and lashed out. So many of you pretend to be logical while sending me endless emails about why I deserve hate. Don't divide people into levels. Human beings are dignified in themselves, and life is about understanding others. More recently, she went live late at night, breaking down under the pressure of online attacks and saying, it's all because of you, before trailing off, unable to continue. Some interpret her latest video as a way of pushing back against being trapped in endless rumors without ever moving into open acknowledgement. Still, even as her self-reveal keeps the story alive, Jimin's side has stuck firmly to silence. So you see, some of these stuff that the Korean media is trying to highlight, right? Now, what about this one? The title is Repeated Dating Rumors. Is silence really the right answer? Written by Korean Duty Free News, journalist reporter named Kim Sang-no. Korean Duty Free News? Okay, why are they writing about this? Dating speculation between BTS Jimin and actress Song Da-eun has flared up again, and once more, Big Hit Music is saying nothing. Rumors have circulated since 2022, but questions remain whether silence is an appropriate risk management strategy this time. Song Da-eun recently posted a video on social media that appeared to show her with Jimin. She has previously posted content that fueled speculation. Each time, Big Hit Music gave no statement, not even the standard "we cannot confirm private matters." If the agency were to admit the relationship, the article says, the disappointment among BTS fans will be significant, given the strong virtual dating culture in K-pop. Okay. Any fan backlash could affect sentiment toward HYBE, Big Hit's parent company, and even its stock price. Okay, so you're going there. So their caution is understandable. But this case is not just about dating rumors. It involves a leak of Jimin's private life. Fans are protesting that Song Da-eun crossed the line by posting the video. Some see her as deliberately stirring controversy. In the past, she even issued warnings to netizens criticizing her. Meanwhile, her supporters released a statement celebrating and encouraging her relationship with Jimin, deepening the split between fan groups. Now, we're going to talk about this in a few minutes, okay? Industry watchers note that the issue here is consent. Did Jimin agree to be filmed? In the clip, he is heard saying, "Did you know I was coming? I didn't tell you on purpose," suggesting he may not have been aware of the recording. Legal experts point out this raises concerns of privacy and portrait rights violations. Rights protected under the Constitution, even for public figures. Now, we're going to talk about this one at the end of this video, okay? The article says, with speculation spreading, silence could be seen as evasion. In an era where unconsented filming spreads instantly online, the agency's lack of response may only fuel further rumors. Okay, so it seems like these Korean media agencies are kind of demanding and desiring some sort of answers or statements from Jimin or Big Hit or HYBE. And it's not just journalists. Like some fans sorry, I forgot to slide. Some fans are also pushing hard for a response. Like on social media, on X, Twitter, you see posts demanding that Big Hit pursue legal action, like citing privacy violations and even breaking down what legal steps could be taken, like an injunction, a criminal case for defamation, and civil damages for violation of portal rights. Like this one, posting without the other person's consent equal illegal. Even public figures have a right to privacy. Please protect the artist by filing for injunctions, pressing defamation charges, and pursuing civil damages for portrait rights and privacy violations. What about this one? Big Hit / HYBE must not continue to stand by while the artist suffers from malicious exposure and defamation. We demand immediate, uncompromising legal action. And then whatchamacallit? What do you call the at? It's not hashtags. Anyways, they apparently wrote these messages for the agencies to see. So the logic is simple. Protect the artist, set a precedent, and stop this from happening again. But here's the tricky part. I mean, would a strong response actually fix anything in this case? Or could it make things worse? Because Song Da-eun has posted similar things before. And if she's looking for attention or trying to provoke a reaction, then legal threats might only fuel the cycle. And the more oxygen you give, the more it burns. And that's why, despite all the pressure, big hits may feel that staying silent is still the least damaging option. It avoids, creating new headlines like HYBE sues Song Da-eun or HYBE finally admits blah blah blah, which would keep the story alive even longer. So we are left with this tension. Some fans demanding protection, media demanding answers, and a company weighing the cost of every word. Okay? Now, another surprising turn today was the so-called statement of support that began circulating online. According to headlines, Song Da-eun's fandom released a statement saying they support her relationship with Jimin and still cheer for her choices. And the statement even quoted the poet Rilke, turning it into something almost like poetic or something. Like, here's an article written by the infamous journalist Lee Sun-myung of Sports Pyongyang titled "Song Da-eun fans issued supportive statement." And here's a subtitle saying, while BTS fans are upset, some of Song Da-eun's fans publicly declared their support. And when it comes to Lee Sun-myung's articles, we know what kind of angle he's taking. All right, so, and I was curious. So here's an actual statement, quote-unquote statement, posted online. We quietly support the love that Song Da-eun has chosen. May that love grow strong, not through the gaze of others, but through the time the two of them build together. That choice should not be shaken by outside judgment, for its meaning lies only in the memories the two create side by side. At times, the weight of public attention and scrutiny may feel heavy, yet true love does not grow stronger under dazzling lights, but in the quiet of everyday life and in steady companionship. We hope she will hold fast to her own heart, and that her warm sincerity toward her partner will continue without wavering. And here's a quote by Rilke. Love consists of two solitudes which protect and greet each other and border one another. Rainer Maria Rilke. Letters to a Young Poet. Seventh letter. Rome, May 14, 1904. Why? Okay, this is so random. Just as these words say, the most beautiful thing is the courage to honor and protect each other, not through comparison or judgment, but through mutual respect. We will continue to support Song Da-eun, not only as an actress, but as an individual living her life with autonomy. We will listen more closely to her own voice than to the noise around her. August 27, 2005. Signed, fans who love actress Song Da-eun. But here's the catch. So that was a statement. This quote-unquote fandom statement didn't come from an official fan club or even a structured community. It was posted on DC Inside's Women's Celebrity Gallery, 여자 연예인 Gallery, which is a forum that, if you know K-internet culture, isn't exactly a reliable or organized base. In fact, it's often described as like chaotic, with users posting satire, trolling, or conspiracy-style content. And yet, despite that context, multiple news outlets picked it up and reported it as if it were a formal declaration from a group of dedicated fans. Like, some even reprinted the statement in full. And just like that, what might have been one or two random posts got elevated into a headline. Song Da-eun's fandom shows support. And here's a comment written under the statement post, which only recorded like 1,042 views with like 58 likes and 11 comments, the post with the statement. And here's a comment that says, "This is hilarious. Hundreds of articles out of something like this." And in fact, well, hundreds is rather, overstatements, but at least I have found 10 articles about this. Okay? And this is how the cycle works. A fringe online comment gets inflated by the press, which then feeds back into social media, which then justifies more headlines. And what could have stayed as a forgotten post becomes a new angle in the ongoing story. And to me, this shows how desperate the media is to keep the fire alive. Instead of waiting for new facts, they recycle fragments, an old clip, a stray post, a gallery statement, and package them as news. So the question becomes, is the media building content out of anything it can find? Well, the answer is obvious. Now, this isn't the first time that Song Da-eun's name has been linked to Jimin. Since 2022, rumors have surfaced again and again, and sometimes sparked by ambiguous social media posts, sometimes by, supposed coincidence. And each time, she has been met with waves of suspicion, criticism, and in many cases, outright hostility from parts of the fandom. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, this happened, and some people, I'll say some people, accused her of pretending to be Jimin's girlfriend or cosplaying a relationship for attention. And there were even false claims that she had been sued and silenced by Big Hit, which she later firmly denied. And on her own channels, she clarified, I'm the one, filing lawsuits, not the one being sued. So don't twist this. And she's been very vocal about, pushing back against what she calls slander, even posting screenshots of her legal complaints against people who accused her of being a stalker or fabricating a relationship. And from her side, this has been a years-long battle of reputation. And from the fan side, many felt her actions, like posting photos of BTS merch, using couple-like imagery, or directly posting a video of Jimin without his consent this time, blurred the line between personal life and publicity. And that tension has never really, gone away. But here's a lesson for fandoms. When someone seems to thrive off attention, even negative attention, reacting can sometimes do more harm than good. And many Korean armies use the phrase 먹금, which is short for don't feed the trolls. And here are some comments that I have found. Even if you're angry or annoyed, don't feed attention seekers and toxic fans. If you see pathetic posts, just report and block them and keep writing good, positive things like usual. And seriously, regardless of this incident, stop chasing people on Instagram or wherever and causing drama. How do you expect to win against people who are basically unhinged? Don't ignore the old wisdom of don't feed the trolls. 먹금, yeah. These people aren't even real opponents, so don't waste your energy. So the idea is simple. Anger and outrage are fuel, and silence could sometimes starve the cycle more often than not. It's not easy, of course. Emotions are high, especially when it feels like your artist is being disrespected or exposed. But I think history has shown that engagement, whether it's defending, attacking, or arguing, could only extend the shelf life of the controversy. Of course, there are some cases when silence would not work or should not work, but it depends. So now we're left with a choice. Do we repeat the cycle for another few years, or do we recognize when stepping back is a more powerful move, or not engage? Now, at first glance, this might look like just another round of idle dating rumors to some people, but legally, this situation is quite different, because what Song Da-eun did wasn't simply fueling speculation through suggestive posts this time. It was directly filming and posting Jimin's face, seemingly without his consent, in what appears to be his own residential space. Now, law specialists in Korea are already framing this as a privacy and portrait rights issue. In Korean law, 초상권, which is the right to one's likeness, and 사생활권, the right to privacy, are protected rights. And even if two people are in a personal relationship, one cannot film and distribute the other's image without consent, especially in a private residential context. And that's not a matter of gossip. It's a potential violation of law. So one lawyer explained it this way. Entertainers may be public figures, but that does not erase their legal protections. The boundary is clear. Public activities and official appearances are fair game, but private life inside or near one's home is not. And in fact, the law often considers those spaces the most sensitive. So here's an article titled BTS Jimin, Song Da-eun, From Dating Rumor to Legal Controversy, written by journalist Cho Yeon-ji of a law-related media agency called Law Talk News. Actress Song Da-eun sparked controversy after posting, then deleting, a video on her social media that showed BTS member Jimin. The video spread quickly across online communities and social networks, reigniting dating rumors between the two. But this incident is now being seen as more than just gossip. It raises legal questions over the boundaries of a celebrity's privacy and portrait rights. Jimin's agency has yet to release a statement. The key issue: consent. At the heart of the debate is whether Jimin consented to being filmed. In the video, believed to have been taken in the hallway of an apartment building, Jimin notices Song Da-eun and says, "Did you know I was coming? I didn't tell you on purpose." This remark suggests that he may not have been aware of the recording beforehand. Legal experts say the situation could amount to a violation of portrait rights. These rights, protected under the Constitution, give an individual control over the use of their likeness and protect against unauthorized filming or publication. Even in a romantic relationship, filming and publicly sharing someone's private moments without explicit consent can constitute a breach of those rights. The fact that the video was filmed in a private residential space where privacy should be protected adds further weight to the legal concerns. Celebrities can be victims of privacy violations too. While celebrities are public figures who accept some level of exposure, this does not justify unlimited intrusion into their private lives. The legal guarantees of privacy and freedom apply equally to entertainers. A legal professional explained, "The scope of a celebrity's life that can be publicly revealed is generally limited to official activities or appearances in public places. A video filmed near someone's home and spread online without their consent is clearly a potential violation of privacy." Because the video was filmed in an apartment hallway, a space considered private, the act of recording and posting it without consent could reasonably be interpreted as an invasion of Jimin's privacy. Now, agency silence as the controversy spreads. Although Song Da-eun deleted the video soon after, it had already spread widely online, fueling more speculation about their relationship. This is not the first time she has posted and then deleted content hinting at Jimin, which has repeatedly sparked dating rumors in the past. So far, Jimin's agency, Big Hit Music, has not issued any official statement. In an era where unauthorized filming and careless distribution of videos are rampant, the incident serves as a stark reminder of the need to protect portrait rights and personal privacy, even for global superstars. So that was the article. Now, this is why some fans are calling for Big Hit and HYBE to take legal action, right? Not because they feel, entitled to know Jimin's private life, but because they see this as a case of non-consensual exposure. At the same time, though, the legal action isn't always a perfect solution, like we mentioned. Like once a case enters the courts, it risks prolonging the story, creating new headlines, and giving the person who started it even more attention. That's why, potentially, Big Hit's silence, frustrating as it might feel for some fans, might be strategic. They are choosing not to feed the fire publicly, even if behind the scenes they might be monitoring or preparing. So this isn't just about is Jimin dating or not, or was Jimin dating or not, because the video seems to be from several years ago. The real question is, what does it mean when an idol's private life is exposed without consent? And how should the industry balance protecting artists' rights while avoiding feeding the media frenzy? So where does that leave us? On one hand, like the media keeps circling, right, waiting for HYBE or Big Hit to issue a statement. On the other, some fans are demanding legal action, while others are saying the healthiest thing we can do is simply practice 먹이 금지, silence, no engagement, no fuel for the fire, or no feeding the trolls. And in the middle of it all is Jimin, someone who has always been very private about his personal life, suddenly caught in the headlines and speculation, not of his own making. And that, I think, is the part that feels the most unfair. But here's the bigger picture. This actually isn't that kind of new in K-pop. Like the tension between idols' privacy, media's hunger for clicks, and fans' emotional investment has existed even before BTS, even before HYBE or Big Hit. And what we're seeing is just the latest chapter of that same cycle, unfortunately. So maybe the real conversation should happen about the culture itself. Where do we, as fans, draw the line between curiosity and intrusion? And when does protecting an artist cross into controlling their choices? And how do we hold media outlets accountable for amplifying noise without substance? To be honest, I don't pretend to have the answers, but I do think that as asking these questions matters, because especially now that BTS is back or will be back, and both the positive and the negative attention are back with them probably. So let me, as always, end by turning it to you. How do you think a fandom should respond when a situation like this arises? Is silence really the strongest defense, or should there be louder calls for accountability? And most importantly, how do we protect the people we admire while still respecting their right to live as people, not just as idols? And let me wrap up by showing you this interesting phrase or comment that somebody left on social media the other day, saying, "Please just meet someone good. Honestly, I don't mind at all if the members date or even get married. I just hope they meet someone so wonderful that I would actually feel envious of Oppa for being with them." So saying, meet someone amazing, to the point that's so wonderful that I will actually feel envious of you for being with them, being with her. And I don't know. Let me know how you feel about this particular comment left by K-Army. K-Army. All right. And as always, when you leave comments, let's stay positive, really positive. Try to be positive and respectful and classy. All right. Stay strong. See you guys later. Bye-bye.